Alright, so this video is the continuation of the creating a footprint for a building and grading the ground around that. So far all we've done is we've created a rectangular footprint of a building, and we have shown where the cut line will go to. If we select this surface by doing a click on it and have a look in the object viewer, what you will see if we go into conceptual view, you should see essentially a rectangular hole in the ground where the building footprint is going to go, and you can see a kind of a dishing effect where the ground is being cut down for that rectangular area. So we can close out of that for the moment. Now that surface has a hole in it where this rectangular footprint is going, so what we need to do is create what's called an infill. And that infill is going to just fill that rectangular shaped hole in. So we do that by coming up to the grading tool and going to the create grading infill option, and you'll see on the command line select an area to infill. So if you move your mouse anywhere inside that feature and do a click, you'll see a little diamond shape appearing in the center of the feature. So that tells you that that rectangular shape is now part of the surface. So I can hit escape to finish that. And just to kind of demonstrate that that has worked, again, if we come to click on the surface and come up to object viewer, we should now see in we'll say conceptual view, we should now see that that rectangle, where we had a rectangular hole earlier on, we've actually got a surface going in there. So we just created an infill for, we'll say, the pad foundation of a building. So the next step we need to do now is to maybe look at some volumes for this. Okay, so it's fairly straightforward to do this. We'll look at it's going to be a cut volume. Where we need to get that from is we need to come back up to grading and have a look at grading creation tools. And what we want to do is to look for the volume tools, which is this button up here, grading volume tools. So click on that one and you get a report coming up here, and essentially it's saying that building 101 has a cut of nearly 5,500 cubic meters and a fill of 0 with a net cut of nearly 5,500 cubic meters. Now that's as we've drawn it, and we can make some changes to this to try and balance that out. We might be stuck with that formation level. If we are, there's nothing we can do about that, but you can have a play around with it to change some bits. These buttons here will allow you to move the formation level up or down by 1 meter. So if I raise this by 1 meter, we should now see that we've got maybe possibly a little bit of fill coming in here, and our net should drop. So if I try that, you'll also see that the drawing will update slightly. The surface will update. That hadn't a major effect on it, so we'll try again. Okay, so now we're getting into a little bit of fill, but each time we do this, we'll try it again. Each time we do this, we're actually changing the elevation of that floor. Okay, we're raising it, and as I said, we may be stuck with that level. One quick way we can do it, ideally, you may want to have your cut and fill balancing itself out. One quick way of doing this is to click the automatic button. So it's this one here. So do a left click on this. The balance hopefully will be 0 or close to 0. Click OK on that. And that will actually change the elevation of the building to best balance the cut and fill. So you can see what's happened here now. It has completely updated itself, and we have a net fill of 0.6 of a cubic meter. Now in doing that, we have possibly drastically changed the level of the building. So that may or may not be suitable for you to do. Bear in mind that we were stuck with a level of, I think it was 75.5 was what I had envisaged. So that's how it's done. That's how you get the volume for it. So reasonably straightforward. What I might do is work with that now as it is, and just show you how to maybe change the surface to incorporate that. So we'll close this down and we will work on this as our main surface now. So as you can see, we've got these red and green lines for our fill and for our cut, and they don't match up with the surveyed contour lines, the grey lines running through. So at the moment, essentially what we've got is two separate surfaces working on top of each other, but they're not incorporated into each other. So maybe before I go into that, what I might just do is show you how this cut and fill looks in the object viewer. So I'm just going to come in here and select this surface and come over to object viewer. This object viewer it's quite a handy little tool just to kind of give you a visualization of what's going on. So you can see now our rectangular slab is still our rectangular slab, but we've now got some fill as well as cut. So earlier on this slab was actually down about here somewhere, and the entire site was being cut. So just to show you, that's what it looks like. So hit escape on that. And the next thing we're going to do is to regenerate the top surface to incorporate that new site. So this involves creating a new surface. So over to our Prospector tab and do a right click on surfaces and go create surface. And this time what we'll do is we'll give it a new name. We will call it finished surface. I'm not going to change anything with the contours. We'll see how they look later on. We can always change that and go OK. So we come over to our Prospector and have a look for this new surface, finished. If we expand that and expand the definition, you'll see there's nothing in here. There's no point files, there's nothing like that in there. So we need to come into edits and do a right click, and what we want to do is paste a surface. So this is like cut and paste or copy and paste. Essentially what we're going to do is to paste in the existing ground level surface and then paste in the surface for the building, and the building will cut into the original ground. So click on paste surface. You bring the kind of base surface in first if you like, so the survey data would come in first, EGL, existing ground level, and click OK. And what we're going to do is add in another surface now. So paste in another one, and this time we're going to paste in the building. Now to get this to display the way you'd want it to display, there's quite a lot going on here at the moment. What we need to do, we've essentially got three surfaces now. We've got the existing ground level, which came in from the survey. We've got the cut and fill surface that was generated as part of the building, and we've got a new surface that we've built called finished surface. So we really just want to look at the finished surface. So what we need to do is come up to our building surface and do a right click and look at the surface properties. We need to change that to no display and go OK. That gets rid of that bit. Then we come down to our existing ground level and go to surface properties, and again change that to no display and go OK. Give it a second to update itself, and now what we've got is we've only got the one surface in here called finished surface, and we can go in and we can look at the properties of that now as well. So right now that's got the surface style contours 2 and 10, and that's what we're looking at in the background here. All of these contours are on the surface that's called finished surface, because we've made the original two surfaces, if you like, invisible by turning off the display for them. So if we change something on here, we'd say 1 and 5 and click on OK, the drawing will all update, and you can clearly see now that the contours coming in here from the existing ground are matching the contours that are on here for the cut and fill now. So what we can do now that that entire surface has been selected, if we come up to the object viewer, we should see now, again, if we go into say shaded with edges, give it a second to regenerate, and we should be able to see now on here that the surface that we built for our house or our building has been incorporated in, and the finished surface has been built up based off two objects, based off the original ground level and the level for the cut and fill that's been brought in. Sorry, I say level, I mean surfaces. So we can change how this looks. This is just a visualization to help you to see what's going on in there. Okay, the main point being that we've created a new finished surface, which is based off in the background the survey, and in the foreground here the design.